Shalom, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, let's give all glory and honor and power, dominion to the Most High God, Yahweh. We do so in the name of His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, the Prince of Peace, the wonderful Counselor. Peace and blessings to all the brothers and sisters in this truth scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. Shalom to you all. This is your brother Kazak, back at you with another lesson. And I'm going to title this lesson, Are We in the New Are we in the new covenant yet? And the answer is no. We are not in the new covenant yet. We are in between the old covenant and the new covenant. Right? We are not in the new covenant yet. We are in between the old and the new. Why do I say that? A lot of Christian, even a lot of Israelites say we are in the new covenant. Top Kemp, so-called Top Kemp, supposed to be the greatest teacher on the planet Earth, like IUIC, ISUPK, teach that we are in the new covenant, right? But the Bible don't it's different, right? And one of the key verse they love to go to is Matthew 26, verse 28. And it says, "For this is my blood of the New Testament." The new covenant. A testament is a covenant, right? Which is, let me read it again. Matthew 26, verse 28. For this is my blood of the New Testament, which is shed for many for the read it again. I'm a little excited. For this is my blood of the New Testament, which is shed for many for the remission of sins. Right? People will go there to prove that we are in the new covenant. This is a true statement, right? This is what you call prolepsis. Let's look up the word prolepsis. Look up the word prolepsis. This is a prolepsis statement Yahweh Shai made, right? Prolep prolepsis, meaning, right? General meaning. Prolepsis come from Greek. Can't read that. Prolepsis, meaning anticipation or taken beforehand. It when you treat a future event as it has already happened. See what two said in literature. A literary ellipsis is a flash forward, a story jump ahead to a future event before returning to the present. Example: a novel opens with a character death and then goes back to explain how it happened. Right? Like I said in the first one, general meaning. Prolepsis comes from the Greek. Prolepsis means anticipation or taken beforehand. It when you treat a future event as if it has already happened. Just like right? Matthew 26, verse 28. For this is my blood of the New Testament, which is shed for many for the remission of sin. That's an example. Let's ask chat. Is that an example of prolepsis? Is Matthew 20, what did I say? 26, verse 28 is an, is an example. Yes, exactly. Matthew 26, verse 28 is a classic proleptic statement. Let's examine it carefully. The verse say, "This is my blood of the covenant, which is poured out for many for the forgiveness of sin." Here's why it's prolepsis. Yahweh shall speak about his blood before it's shed. See that? At the Last Supper, he said his blood is poured out even though the crucif- cru- crucif- crucifixion hasn't happened yet. He anticipated a future event, his death, as if it already affected, right? So, like I said, we are not in the new covenant yet. We're in between the old and the new. There's a lot that have to take place. When you talk about the new covenant, there's a lot that have to take place. All Israel going to be under the new covenant. Not some, all the nation of Israel going to be in a new covenant. First, we have to have the new body, the new glorified spiritual body. Right? And we have to be in the land, the holy land of Israel, to be in the new covenant. So Matthew 26, verse 28 is a true statement. Yahweh shall shed his blood. His blood will bring us into the new covenant. Right? Just like when the Most High made the covenant with Abraham, right? He made the old covenant with Abraham. But the covenant, the nation of Israel entered into the new covenant about 400 years later in the wilderness with Moses. But he made the covenant, the old covenant, right? He established it with Abraham. And let's go straight to that. Genesis 26, not Genesis 26. Genesis 17. Genesis 17, right? Let's jump to in fact, let's start in verse 1. Genesis 17, verse 1. When Abraham was 90 years old and nine when Abraham, I don't know what's going on with me today. When Abraham was 90 years old and nine, the Lord appeared to Abraham and said unto him, I am the Almighty God, I am the Almighty God, walk before me and be thou perfect. Verse 2. And I will make my covenant between me and thee, and I will multiply thee exceedingly. And Abraham fell on his face, and God talked with him, saying, As for me, behold, my covenant is with thee, and thou shalt be a father of many nations. So the Lord didn't, the covenant started with Abraham, right? We talk about the old covenant. It started with Abraham, but it was not fulfilled until, right, his seed was multiplied, until they got into the land of Israel. That's when the covenant was fully established. Right? Let me read verse 4 again. As for me, behold, my covenant is with thee, and thou shalt be a father of many nations. Verse 5. Neither shall your name anymore be called Abraham, but your name shall be Abraham. Verse 5. Neither shall your name anymore be called Abraham, but your name shall be Abraham. For a father of many nations have I made thee. Verse 6. I will make thee exceeding fruitful, and I will make a nation of thee, and king shall come out of thee. Verse 7. And I will establish my covenant between me and thee and your seed after thee in their generation for an everlasting covenant to be a God unto thee and your seed after thee. You see that? So the Most High God, Yahweh, made a covenant with Abraham. But the fulfillment of the covenant came to pass, came to fruition in the days of Moses, about 400 years later. It's the same thing with Yahweh Shah HaMashiach. Right? The death of Yahweh Shai will enter us into the new covenant that will take place when we get the new body. When Yahweh Shai return and set up his kingdom in the earth, that's when we will enter into the new covenant. So right now, as I'm speaking, the fact that I'm talking right now, it proves that we are not under the new covenant. Right? Like I said in the beginning, we are in between the first and the new. We are not in the new covenant yet. Now let's jump to Jeremiah, right? Jeremiah 31. Jeremiah 31. Start at verse 31. Let's go down. Right? The new covenant. Jeremiah 31, verse 31. Behold, the days come, said the Lord, that I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah. Paul quote this in the book of Hebrew the exact same way. Right, we're going to go to that next. I'll show you the new covenant is with Israel and Judah. Nobody else. The new covenant is with the house of Judah and Israel. Verse 32. Not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers, in the day that I took them by hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt, which my covenant they break, although I was a husband unto them, said the Lord. Verse 33. But this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, said the Lord. I will put my law in their inward parts, write it in their heart, their mind, and I will be their God, and they should be my people. See that? So in the new covenant, the Lord will put his laws, his word in our mind, in our spirit, in our inward part. We receive the new body. Therefore, we will not be able to sin. We all will be righteous. The whole nation of Israel will be under the new covenant. Not just part of us, but the whole nation will be in the new covenant. Let me read that again, verse 33. But this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, said the Lord. I will put my laws in their inward part and write it in their heart. I will be their God, and they shall be my people. Verse 34. And they, verse 34, and they shall teach no more every man his neighbor. The fact that, like I said, the fact that I'm teaching right now, I'm making this video right now, it proved that we are not under the new covenant yet. Because I'm still teaching. In the new covenant, there won't be no, I won't be able, there's going to be no reason for me to teach another Israelite. Right? But the Israelite will be teaching the other nation, the heathen, how to keep God's laws. Right? Your neighbors is your fellow Israelite. Let me read verse 34 again. And they shall teach no more every man his neighbor, and every man his brother, saying, Know the Lord. For they shall all know me, from the least of them unto the greatest of them, said the Lord. For I will forgive their iniquity, remember they sin no more. Verse 35. Thus said the Lord, which give the sun for light by day, and the ordinance of the moon and the stars for light by night, which divided the sea when the wave thereof roar. The Lord of hosts is his name. Verse 36. If those ordinances depart from me, said the Lord, then the seed of Israel also shall cast from being a nation before me forever. Meaning the nation of Israel will always be here as long as the moon and the stars and the sun are doing their job. We are not under the new covenant yet. We are in between the first, right? We are in between the first and the new. We will be in the new covenant when Yahweh shall return and we change to a new glorified body. Therefore, we will be able to keep the laws and statutes and commandment perfectly. We will not be able. We will not sin. We will not have the urge to sin to go off. That's what's come with the new covenant. Right? Now let's jump to the book of Hebrew, where Paul quote the same verse in Jeremiah. Book of Hebrew 8 the greatness of his ministry. Let's jump to Hebrew 8 and 8, right? For finding fault with them, he said, behold, the day comes, said the Lord, when I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah. You see that? Even in the so-called new covenant, Paul is quoting the house of Israel and the house of Judah. That show you that salvation is only of the nation of Israel and the house of Judah. The two nations, the two kingdoms, south and north, right? Verse 9. Not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the days when I took them by the hand to lead them out of the land of Egypt, because they continued not in my covenant, and I regard them not, said the Lord. Verse 10. For this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, said the Lord. I will put my laws into their mind and write them in their heart. I will be to them a God, and they shall be to me a people. Verse 11. And they shall not teach every man his neighbor, and every man his brother, saying, Know the Lord. For all shall know me, from the least to the greatest. For I will be merciful to their unrighteousness, and their sin and their iniquity will I remember no more. Verse 13. One of my favorite verses to prove that we are not in the new covenant. In 13. And that he said, a new covenant he has made the first old. Now that which decay and wax old is ready to vanish away. You understand what Paul just said? Paul said the old one, Paul said that let me read it again. And that he said a new covenant he has made the first one old. Now that which decay wax old is ready to vanish away. Meaning Paul saying the old one is slowly vanish away. If it was already in the new covenant, because some people say when Yahweh Shah died, the new covenant, they automatically be in the new covenant when Yahweh Shah died. But here Paul is saying the old is ready to vanish away. Like years, probably 30 years after Yahweh Shah's death, the death of Yahweh Shah, right? And Paul is still saying the old is ready to vanish away. Just like right now, I'm speaking right now, 2,000 years later, the old is still ready to vanish away. Let's get that in the NLT. Let's see what it said. Man, so let's go in the NIV. Jump down, verse 13. By calling this covenant new, He has made the first one obsolete. And what is obsolete and outdated will soon disappear. See that? The old one will soon disappear, meaning we are still in the new. I mean, in the old covenant. No, we're not doing blood sacrifice. We're not killing animals because Yahweh Shai died on the cross. So his death now we no longer need to sacrifice animal. We are not in the new. We're still in the old. We in between the old and the new because the old one is outdated. The old one is outdated. Will soon disappear. This old one will soon disappear, meaning we are not in the new, people. Christian, we are not in the new. Israelite who believe we are in the new, we are not yet in the new. We need it. We need the new body. We need to be in the land of Israel. Yahweh Shai need to be returning and bring everlasting peace, everlasting salvation. He need to bring us back into the land that Yahweh promised our forefather Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. We need to be in the land of Israel, in our land. That's when the new covenant will be fully established. Right? And I asked Chat that before I start the lesson, and I was surprised that Chat break it down. But for some reason, Hebrew Israelite, Christian, they still can't get it. Right? I put technically, I asked Chat, technically we are not under the new covenant yet. He said, yes, I see exactly what you pointed out. This is a nuisance, but every important distinction that many overlook. Let's go carefully. Yahweh Shai institute the new covenant, but Yahweh Shai said at the Last Supper, his blood was the new covenant. What they call it? Prolepsis statement, right? Luke 22, verse 20. Technically, this is true. Like I said, the covenant was inaugurated in principle, just like when Donald Trump became president. He became the president when they announced that he won. Technically, he's the president, but he became the president when I think February when they inaugurated him. The whole ritual, shebang, whatever. Right? It's the same thing. Technically, this is true. The covenant was inaugurated in principle, but it wasn't fully enacted for the world in practice yet. Why? Because a covenant requires a certain condition to be fully active for the people. Like I said, we need the new body. We need to be in our land in glory, right? Second, why we are not fully under it yet. Hebrew 9:15 and 17 explain that the new covenant required Yahweh Shai death to ratify it. That happened historically, but the covenant isn't fully realized for all humanity. Bullcrap. Unto the spirit and kingdom blessing are fully applied. Like I said, many theologians point out that currently much of humanity still live under sin and under the law of conscience, awaiting the full manifestation of the covenant promise. When it said humanity, just put Israelite because we already established that the new covenant will be for the kingdom for Israel and Judah. Roman 11 and First Corinthians 15 suggests that Israel as a nation in the fullness of Gentile haven't completely entered the new covenant experience yet, right? Like I said, let's see what 3 said. Signs we are in transition. Believers can access grace, forgiveness, and spiritual life through faith in Yahweh Shai. So, in that sense, individual or experience the covenant now, but corrupt corporately I can't pronounce that word, but corporately as in the full fulfillment for Israel and the nation, it's still future, tied to Yahushua return, like I said, in the resurrection. So, like I said, we will be fully under new covenant when Yahushua return and, upgrade us to the new glorified body and bring us to the land that he promised to our forefather Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the Holy Land, the land of Israel, right? Summary. In principle, the new covenant exists because Yahushua died and promised it. An individual experience believers can live by it, power through faith in the Spirit. In full historically reality, the covenant hasn't yet fully taken effect for the entire world or Israel as a nation, right? So let me ask chat, when was the phrase New Testament used for the first time? The phrase New Testament, Latin Novum Testamentum, is first clearly used by early Christians in the 2nd century. But the idea appears in the New Testament itself in the Greek word. Okay, that's not what I'm looking for. Okay, that's what I'm looking for, the second one. Early Christian usage. The Latin phrase Novum Testamentum was used by Tertullian, 155 and 240 AD, one of the early church fathers. He applied it to the collection of writing about Yahushua and the apostles, distinguish it from the Old Testament, the Hebrew scriptures, meaning that Testament covenant, Old Testament God covenant with Israel through Moses, New Testament God covenant through Yahushua HaMashiach. So the name reflects continuity and fulfillment, not just different set of books. So, right. So the first time the word New Testament was used is around 155 AD. So when Paul and Peter, the apostles, they didn't, right. The book they was using was mostly the Old Testament to write the New Testament. So the phrase, the word New Testament, it did not come about till years later after the apostles died, right? Like I said, man, we are not in the New Testament yet. We're in the old, between the old and the new. We're under grace through faith, right? Let's jump. Let's go to Ezekiel. Just a few more scriptures and I'm going to be done. All right. Ezekiel 36. Let's start in 24. Let's change it to King James Version. Where you at, King James? 24. Let's start at 24. People to be renewed. 24. Let's jump to 24. For I will take you from among the heathen and gather you out of all countries and will bring you into your own land. Like I said, that's come with the new covenant, the New Testament. He will gather us throughout all four corners of the earth and bring us back into the land of Israel. Verse 25. Then will I sprinkle clean waters upon you, the water of the word, the true word, and ye shall be clean from all your filthiness and from all your idols will I cleanse you. Verse 26. Let me highlight it. A new heart also will I give you, and a new spirit within you, and I will take away the stony heart out of your flesh, and I will give you an heart of flesh. 27. And I will put my spirit within you and cause you to walk in my statute, and you shall keep my judgment and do them. And ye shall dwell in the land that I gave your fathers, and ye shall be my people, and I will be your God. I will also save you from all your uncleanness, and I will call for the corn, and I will increase it, and lay no famine upon you. This is all about the new covenant, man. This will take place in the new covenant when Yahweh Shah HaMashiach return. Now let's go. Let's jump back to Ezekiel 30, Ezekiel 20. Ezekiel 20. We're going to start at 37, the bond of the covenant. 37, 37. You know what? Let's start. Let's start at 33. Ezekiel 20, verse 33. As I live, said the Lord God, surely with a mighty hand and with a stretched out arm and with fury pour out will I rule over you. 34. And I will bring you out from the people and will gather you out of the country wherein you are scattered with a mighty hand and with a stretched out arm and with fury pour out. 35. And I will bring you into the wilderness of the people, and there will I plead with you face to face. You see that? He's gonna gather us from all four corners of the earth and bring us. How he gonna gather us? It's through them chariots, right? He gonna gather us through the chariot and bring us to the wilderness. We don't know where the wilderness is at. It could be the same wilderness as in the days of old, in the days of Moses, when he bring them out from Egypt in the wilderness. Could be, who knows? We don't know. 35 again. I will bring you into the wilderness of the people, and there will I plead with you face to face. Verse 36. Like as I plead with your father in the wilderness of the land of Egypt. Could be the same wilderness, like I said. So will I plead with you, said the Lord. Verse 37. Verse. And I will cause you to pass under the rod, and I will bring you into the bond, the fullness of the covenant. I will purge out from among you the rebels and them that transgress against me. I will bring them forth out of the country where they sojourn, and they shall not enter into the land of Israel. And you shall know that I am the Lord. So the same thing he did when he bring Israel out from among the Egyptians and bring them in the wilderness, it's the same way he will bring them into the bond of the covenant. Like I said, man, we are not under the new covenant yet. Between the old and the new. Because right now, the old one is getting ready to vanish away because Yahweh Shai is getting ready to return with fire and brimstone to destroy Babylon the Great and establish its kingdom in the earth. That's when we will fully enter into the new covenant. Right? Lord willing, this lesson was edified, man.